This is one of the best foundations for a luminous finish, and I'm going to buff it all over. I can't tell you how important it is to buff it into the brush before you buff it into the skin. I mean, already we haven't even applied concealer yet, and you can see how this is just given such good coverage without looking like it's cakey. Now, you don't want to pack it on because we want a really kind of light veil of colour all over. I've got the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. Put it on the back of your hand. Buff the concealer into the sponge. This is going to give you a really nice airbrushed finish. So we're just going to go on the under eye area. It's probably the only place you're going to need concealer. Try not to spread it over the cheek because that's when it starts to look quite cakey. So stick to the under eye area and then gradually just take it up here for a little bit of a lift. Okay, let's set the under eye area first because then we can add a bit more luminosity to the skin. This is one of the first places to crease, which is why we're going to set it first. So I'm just taking out the creasing from the under eye area. I've got my sponge ready. I've got some setting powder on my puff. Only set the under eye area. Don't touch the rest of the face because we're going to still be adding some luminosity there. You want to get a brush with nothing on it, and we're going to very lightly dust away this powder from the under eye area. We're going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm in Pink Gasm, and we're going to just add this to the tops of the cheekbone. You're probably better off using a sponge here so that you don't get any brush marks. So we're literally just going to keep it in the same place. Try not to spread it out too much, just on the upper part of the cheekbone. So I really want to kind of give a nice sharp finish to the cheekbones. So we're not going all the way in, we're just doing it kind of like halfway. This is my Charlotte Tilbury contour wand in medium. We're going to use the back of a sponge and we're going to try and keep this in the same place but just soften the edges. The key is to mattify the areas that you feel a little uncomfortable with. So for example, if you have texture in certain areas and you know that it shows more when it's looking a bit more dewy, then you can mattify those areas, but you can keep the luminosity in the areas that will add a little bit of dimension when certain light hits your face. So for example, I want to keep my cheekbones pretty luminous, and there are certain areas that I just want to mattify that really help to just work in balance with the luminosity. I am loving this glow.